Claire. My sleeves though. Better than Jamie's.
Hi guys, welcome to Rufio. It's Joe here. We're here with Big P, PibsterPewPew.
How's it going?
He had a good regional, nearly topped. Lost out to some cocky guy that we won't talk too much about because he doesn't deserve his attention.
Is this true?
So we won't rinse him on air. Everyone else will do that rinsing in their own personal time. So thank you very much for taking the time to show us his profile. Like I said, you were absolutely smashing it. And we'd quite like to see what you have for us. So what are you playing?
So I'm playing Going Second ABC.
And how did you finish at the event?
I went 2 draws, 1 loss, and won everything else.
And it was your last?
And it was my last game playing the mirror match that I lost to, where he sided 15 cards for me.
Nice.
So he was prepared for the mirror match.
Somehow.
I wasn't. I mean, it was fair enough that he won, but after his actions in his deck profile, I'm not so happy to say well played to him.
So, fair enough. So you lost out in the last round, very, very close to the top. We were all rooting for you. It was a bit sad that
I had 2 draws. One was a Trickstar Sky Striker player, a player who slow played me into time, and the other one was a genuine, I was on table 4 and we had an actual draw. So
there we go. It happens sometimes.
But yeah, it was undefeated pretty much up until the last minute.
And he's happy to be playing the ABC again.
ABC.
Absolute favourite deck. This is the new Calvin Tahan, guys, apparently. Big P. Look at the fucking hands. Jesus Christ. Every video, we just got to spend a moment. Look at the mallets. Jeez. Wreck it, Ralph. Right, okay, sure. Let's get stuck into the video anyway. So, let's see what you got.
So we got 3A.
Yep.
3B. 3C. If you don't know what they do by now, then, where have you been living? Under a rock? But summons monsters from hand, adds from deck, adds from grave. When equipped, negates monster effects, negates spells effects, and negates trap effects on the monster it's equipped to. They're the ABC pieces. They're very standard. I played 2 Ash. Would have been 3 if I had 3 probably, but I didn't have 3. So we subbed the third one with the 1 Ogre. It sometimes came up. I never really was unhappy to see it, but again, if I had 3 Ash, it would have been 3 Ash.
Cool.
I played 2 Veiler. This is essentially because I can't afford impermanences. Well, I can afford impermanences, but I'm not willing to spend £80 on impermanences.
And they get reprinted soon.
They get reprinted soon. And actually, I feel like Veiler was, in niche situations, was better than impermanence because you don't really want to set impermanence in this deck because you want to leave your field open in case for evenly matched. So.
Right.
So this was you could play this and so. It was better than, but what am I trying to say? You could make your board, or you could make because it's plays Sky Striker as well. So you could make your Shizuku and end turn, and still be able to negate them in their main phase. And then when they kill your Shizuku in the battle phase, you can then evenly them.
Right. Okay.
So it's just conflicting with having to set the card.
Small interactions as well.
Small things, yeah. So that's all the monsters anyways.
Sure.
So spells, 3 Union Hanger,
Yep.
2 Terraforming.
Yep.
You play them because it's ABC. And then the Sky Striker package was 3 Engage, because Engage is a good card. 2 Widow Anchor rather than 3, because you never really need 3, and you don't really want to be drawing it after. They're pretty much only Engage targets. Like, it would occasionally come up that you need a Widow Anchor, but you would never use 3. Drones. I wish this card was at more than 1 because it's if you've used it and you can't get it back, then your striker engine is turned off. So, apart from my playing a card to go around that bit, the 1 Jabbing Waves. I still is from Calvin Tahan. I'm not gonna lie. It's for the Altergeist matchup. It's just searchable main deck out to trap cards.
Did it work nicely?
I did play any against the Altergeist, so it literally could have been any other Sky Striker card because that's what it was. It was just a search target to engage to get the bonus draw.
This is a crazy format at the moment as well. So unpredictable. You cannot.
I'll go over my matchups at the end. Sure. So I played 3 Mind Control. Mind Control is a ridiculous card. The fact that this is a 3. When it came to 3 and no one played it, I was just like, "What? This card is dumb." It's Change of Heart. And that card's banned, so why? I don't know. It's a good card. It's great. You steal your opponent's monsters, you link with them. Mains 2 Twin Twisters again. It was meta shout for Altergeist that I never came against. However, it is kind of good against... if you're forced to go first against these danger OTK decks, they set their spells before they danger, then you just Twin Twist them with their spells, and then they're like, oh, I don't get to use my power cards. So Twin Twister. 2 Desires, because as with a lot of people, I don't have the balls to play 3, because if you banish your pieces, then you can't play.
Too scared.
Pretty much. And also, I hate drawing a Desires for Desires, but it still managed to happen once, even with 2, so... Upstart Goblin, this card was good for me all day. That's a joke. This is the spicy tech, the Magnet Reverse. So it summons back Buster, but it also summons back Kagari to add a Sky Striker card in your opponent's turn and turn back on your Striker engine. Like when I said, when Drones is gone, if you've had to double Drones to make a Link 2. Then you can Magnet Reverse to add the drones back, to summon the Kagari to add the drones back, to be able to go back into your engine, or to just add Engage back, or whatever. It's a really versatile card. So
Spicy.
In this deck, I wouldn't... obviously, it's very restricted between Rock and Machines, so... But it slided out a lot, but sometimes I saw it, sometimes... Yeah, it was okay.
It's cool.
I don't know what I played instead of it. I played the 1 Card Destruction. This is... So, if you're playing against an opponent and you have hand traps in your hand and they play through your... Play like a bad turn, essentially, and you don't have to use your hand traps, your hand traps are useless in your turn. So, Card Destruction is a good way of just going, okay, I'll get rid of my hand traps that I don't need in my turn, I'll get real cards.
Yeah.
But also it has the once every now and then where you play it and you go, I discard ABC. Well played.
Dump those pieces.
Yeah, it's a good way to dump pieces. It modulates your hand, and if you're going second, your opponent has used their hand most of the time. So most of the time it's just like I draw 4.
Yeah.
So Monster Reborn. Similar to the Magnet Reverse, it can get you back into your Sky Striker stuff. You can get back a ABC, you get back a B and get a second search. It's a good card. And evenly matched, the reason why we play going second, because people overextend a lot and then you evenly them and they're like, oh, free win. Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
You play this, you establish a Buster, they can't play because Buster is oppressive. So that's the main deck, 40 cards.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I play a third Ash. I don't know if I play anything else in the main that I can think of.
Cool.
So, going to the extra deck, I guess, next. So, Triple Buster.
Yeah.
I'd say this card's impressive. It's ridiculously powerful. Dodges effects. And it's really good in combination with Decode Talker.
It's definitely still one of the best boss monsters.
Oh yes,
for sure.
By far, the fact that it summons back all its materials, then you just make another one next turn. Insane. It's huge as well. 3,000 is huge. Banishing cards.
Quick effects everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Good stuff.
Sky Strikers. I played actually a lot of Sky Strikers. I probably cut this down, but I played 2 Kagari, 1 Hayate, 1 Shizuku, and I played the 1 Kaina. I'd probably cut this, but I don't know. A lot of people only play 1 and 1, or just 2 of this. I'd probably cut the Hayate because it rarely comes up that I need to dump a spell, only really in brick hands. But if I do that, then I sometimes had to make the Kaina because I had Engage in hand and stuff, and I didn't want to go straight into the Shizuku because I wanted to link and do stuff. So it had fringe use. It was probably better off being something else.
Sure.
Clara and Rushka, this card is surprisingly powerful.
How do you use that? Because I see this come up, a lot of people recommend it, but I've never really seen it explained.
With a P, any ABC piece that's a B and Union Hanger, you're going second, so you go battle phase evenly matched, summon, or you can summon attack over something. Because it's a link one that has to be linked during the main phase too, so you link off into this, and then you get this effect. your B effect. But obviously, if you've got a Unit Hanger, you summon this, you equip a C, then you link off, and then you get B effect, C effect. B adds a piece, then summons it from hand, so long as you have another piece in hand to have a legal activation. But it just turns this into a 1-card buster.
Oh, okay, sweet.
That summons it, then you get a summon piece from hand, then you make this into a link 2.
Right.
And then, so you make underclock decode, underclock buster. So, but yeah. Without this, the deck would function very poorly as a going second deck.
Good to know.
It's just simply because it's a link 1 that you can use anything for.
Yeah.
So I played Genius. This card is pretty good. It's unaffected by spell and traps and other link monsters. My first game against True Draco, I don't know whether the ruling was correct. I summoned this into the Skill Drain Monarch card, and they ruled it that it negated this, even though it's unaffected, because it was an effect that's already on the field.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
I thought that was weird, but it would have been nice. But anyway, it's the fact that you can make this against Striker, and they can't do anything about it because it's unaffected, so you just stick their face in.
Just clarify that is correct, because if they do it under Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon, if it comes out after it's on the field, you can kill it.
What?
Because it's now no longer unaffected by stuff.
Right. I don't know.
Trust me.
Sure. Also, it has the fact that you can add a level 5 or higher machine monster if 2 monsters are summoned to its points at the same time, which never came up because I never sided in the level 5 or higher monster, but that would be in my side bet.
Sure.
Underclock Taker, it's generically good. It makes way for killing people.
Yeah.
Nightmares, I only played 2. I should have played a Mermaid, so that's probably what I'd cut the kind of for, but I just totally forgot
If you're going to play any 2, though, those are the 2 that you have to play.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I really should have played the Mermaid, because there are times where you want to make the Phoenix with the piece that was summoned off C and the Clara to pop a thing, but then you don't have an extra deck zone to summon your Buster into, so that's why you play the Mermaid. But I didn't, because I forgot about it, to be honest.
Okay.
And this is good. The fact that if you're forced to go first, you can make a link 3, but you have to discard a piece from your hand. You can spin itself back to the deck and discard the card to make the Buster.
Spicy.
So I play this because I love this card. I don't know. Since I got it, I've played it in every deck because it kills Sky Striker so well. Just negating the Ray in the battle phase, and then if it sticks around, you can tribute off to summon back Kagari. To get your Sky Striker stuff going again, which is happens once in a blue moon. And the fact there's piercing damage as well, so piercing damage in a toolbox is pretty good. And then Decode, the original, the Bay, the ulti. This card is dumb. When you tag out your Buster, you get 2 negates, and one of those negates will search your card, and then the next negate will float you into the card you searched, and then that will float into another card, so it's 4 negates. So basically, while this is on the field, they can't...
Quick match!
They can't target you while this is on the field, because you just negate it and you cycle through. It gets you advantage. It's the biggest monster in the extra deck apart from Buster, because it goes huge, which is sometimes relevant. So that's the extra. As I say, I'd probably cut the Kaina for a Mermaid, and I'm sure there's other stuff that probably would have come up, but I didn't think about it.
Sure.
I go to the side deck. It's fairly standard, and this is the weakest part of my deck because I just don't own cards for side. I don't think about my side very well.
It's also a hard format side in it at the moment.
This is
it's
true.
So blown open.
So 3 Call by the Grave because the card is good. Not much to say about Call by the Grave. Prankotrops, I sided this in literally every game because I wouldn't want to main it, because then you're if your mates go first, it's dead. If you lose the roll and they go, oh, you can go first. But yeah, I sided it in every game. It's a really good card. I'd like to see it in ulti. I then decided I had to side some stuff for when I knew I was going to be made to go first.
Yeah.
So I put in the Sanctum and Scythe package. Honestly, I don't think this is worth it. It's a lot of cards. I only sided it in once, which was in the ABC Mirror, where I tried to outthink my opponent and chose to go first, because I thought he would side to go first, because he thought I'd make him go second.
Do the old switcheroo.
And I scythed him, so it worked great, but then he Lanciered me, so I lost. So I couldn't establish a Buster, so Lancia is definitely better than this. But again, I wanted something to go first, and in that vein, I decided order because Calvin Tahan did, and I was like, I have an order. I'm not gonna lie, I copied a lot from him on this list.
He's a good person to learn from
because he is generally one of the best. Twin Twister, the third one for when you need to kill back row, I guess.
Yeah,
and the Jizukiru because it's the level 5 or higher machine that Genius searches.
Yeah, sure.
In whatever scenario, and end of the day, a kaiju's only there to be destroyed anyway, so it doesn't matter about its attack. The fact that it's a machine, and so that's literally the reason why I played Jizukiru instead of Gamma Seal.
Cool.
So that's the deck.
Thank you very much.
As far as my matchups went, I actually played a lot of pretty competitive games. As I said, my first game was against True Draco. I limped through that match because he saw 3 card demises every game, so he just had infinite resources. I was like, I tried to kill you, and Monarch Corrupt is a hell of a card.
Difficult stuff.
Yeah, but that's what's so good about Buster is it dodges Monarch Corrupt because you tribute off the field. You discard to do the banish effect, then tribute it off the field, so it's no longer negated. Mm-hmm. That's old school text that older players don't know about. Game 2 was my Trickstar Sky Striker, where the guy slow played me into time. He didn't intentionally do it. He was just one of those weeby carrot guys who I'm playing my touch deck, and he wasn't very good with the deck, but he's slow. So he was playing slow, but I didn't want to call it a judge because he's not slow playing intentionally, because I could tell he's not
just a slow player.
He was just a slow player, and it ended up going into time, and I ended up getting burned in time for a draw, and I was like, well, this is just typical. My third game was against something. I can't remember.
That's fine.
I think it might have been Orcrest, but it was over so quick that I don't remember. My fourth game was against Pure Noble Knights, and I played a 40-minute game 1.
I think that might be the guy I lost to in my last round, and then I just went home.
Noble Knights apparently can play through 1,000 negations.
Yes, man, they've got so much stuff.
They do nothing.
Yeah.
So he opened the God board on his first turn and even lead him, and he was like, oh. So I felt a bit bad, but the game went on for 40 minutes because the Noble Knights have so many effects.
Just keep going, don't they?
So yeah. Round 4, I played against Dark Warrior, and Dark Warrior playing Orcrest stuff. He was playing some cool stuff with his old. He played the equip spells that all go back into the deck when they go to the graveyard.
Right.
So he couldn't brick with the equip spells, which I thought was really spicy. And in the end of the day, he still didn't do anything because I don't know, Effect Veiler on Mermaid is good. Then round 5, I played against. I think that was when I played against Ping, playing Orcrest. And that deck, again, you hit the Mermaid, it doesn't do anything, apparently. Then I played against Sky Striker, just Pure Striker. That's my draw against, I was on table 4. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. Probably the best game of the day. We went into time in his main phase, because he scooped to go into his main phase in game 3. And he wanted to gain life with Kaina to get the win, but he opened the perfect set of cards in his hand to not do that. He opened Sky Striker cards and away into Kaina, but he opened Widow Anchor and Afterburners. So Afterburners had no target, so he couldn't activate it, and Widow Anchor would have negated the Kaina, and Kaina gains life on resolution. So he couldn't gain the life, so it was a legitimate draw. Then I played against another Orcrest, and it bricked again and did nothing because I think that deck really is bad. And then I played against the ABC Mirror, and we all know how that went.
Yeah.
I couldn't establish a Buster, so he won.
That happens, man.
But end of the day, 250 players, and I came 28th. So if you think about that in a bigger event where there's
that's basically a top.
That's top 32. So that's enough to get you into the playoffs, which is enough.
Yeah.
In Swiss, which is
so you did all right, man. You did.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to do the profile with us. Any shout outs before we go?
Shout out to Mark, Manascrew.
Yeah, man.
Always. He provides us this venue. He runs solid vocals. So,
our boy.
Yeah, Manascrew. Shout outs to Rufio.
Yeah.
Shout outs to my YouTube channel, PibsterPewPew.
Go there
for the occasional Banjo Kazooie Let's Play.
Banjo Kazooie. Jesus Christ. I'm going to cut you off there so you stop talking shit about Banjo Kazooie. We're not even going to get down that road. Thank you very much for taking the time to do the profile, Pibs. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I'm afraid that's all we have time for in this video. If by chance you haven't had enough of listening to me waffle at you through a video about a children's card game, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links are on the screen, or if you're feeling really lazy, you can click the links in the description. While you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content too. It'll make me smile, I promise. And who can ask for more than that? Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.